Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Season 3 of Luminous Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we welcomed in new warriors along with the Torn Princess, our she-cat, who looks very much like her uncle Rowan Pelt and her mother Shadow Swirl. Who graduated as the best of her batch. So alongside her warrior name, Torn Fern, she got the title of Torn Princess. Now I did say that I would play off camera until we had a pregnancy notice, and that is exactly what I have gone ahead and done. Now, we left off on moon 154, and it is now a moon 157. So it has been 3 moons that I have been playing off camera, and basically nothing interesting happened, guys. Nothing for me to report at all. There was like literally no drama, which I'm glad about because I love it when those things happen when I'm with you guys on camera. But I'm excited to dive in. Obviously, we're not going to be time skipping a moon, and that means we're also not going to be doing the, whatchamacallit. We're not going to be doing the dice, because I've already done the dice, and I have already skipped a moon, and I did get my pregnancy notice, which is why we're diving back in and continuing from here. So excuse that. But guys, our war with Chirp Clan continues. Let's check out, actually no, we'll read through the major events, then we'll go see the Medicine Cat Den. But let's see what's been happening. Okay. During the gathering, Godzilla Star has nothing but sharp comments and sarcastic quips to add whenever Shade Clan's leader speaks. So Shade Clan relations have worsened, and I am fairly sure we are hostile with every single clan there is right now, which is low-key stressing me out. Stone Speck no longer has a running nose, Orchid Shine has gotten a running nose, and the notice that we wanted so desperately, and the whole reason why we have just come back, Lupine Claw announced that she is expecting kids. She couldn't imagine being trapped in the nursery yet and insists she can keep working. So we have good news on that front, guys. The war with Chirp Clan is beginning to disrupt the daily lives of Luminous Clan, forcing them to adapt to new routines and living situations in order to better defend themselves. So yeah, last episode as well, we literally had a war start with Chirp Clan. Like, these guys cannot catch a break, but it totally makes sense under Godzilla Star. I mean, he's a troublemaker, so it makes sense that he's constantly making trouble for everyone and our clan. Okay, let's see the Medicine Cat Den. So things are actually looking good here. I suppose the only thing that happened across the 3 moons was that pretty much all the cats that we had in the Medicine Cat Den, they have recovered or healed. Like, we didn't have any deaths or anything like that either. We had some really bad injuries, but they all managed to heal, which is good. Stone Speck was given ragboard as treatment for running nose, no longer has a running nose. Canary Snap gathered raspberry, cobwebs, and plantain this moon, so he's been doing a good job on this front. And if we look at the cat list, every single cat, guys, is able-bodied. They can actually go out on patrol, which this is very rare for the clan. But we don't have any retired elders who cannot participate. We don't have any kittens who can't participate. Everyone is of age and healthy enough to actually go out on patrols, which is kind of amazing. Okay, let us continue with relationships to see what has been happening here. Plum Raven thinks that Godzilla Star stole one of her ideas. Lupine Claw keeps asking Plum Raven silly questions. To be honest, she's pregnant now. So maybe she's like pestering Plum Raven with questions about pregnancy. Like, she's asking her grandmother, you know? And Plum Raven feels like they're very silly questions, and she'll kind of figure them out, you know, like as she goes along the pregnancy. But Lupine Claw obviously doesn't appreciate that because this is important to her. Torn Fern keeps avoiding eye contact with Buttercup Dusk. Buttercup Dusk daydreams about Orchid Shine being exiled. Buttercup Dusk! I don't know what Buttercup Dusk has against his mates, nieces, and nephews, because I remember him hating Bonesong, and he was like not even distraught, not even concerned the slightest when Bonesong died. He thought that everyone should have been glad for it. And now he's daydreaming about Orchid Shine being exiled. Buttercup Dusk, what is it with this attitude? I don't know. I don't know. And I feel like Orchidshine, I mean, she's strict, but she keeps to herself. It could be that her strict personality maybe clashes with his playfulness, which is kind of what we saw between him and Bonesong. But this is kind of new. I haven't seen this much. Or I haven't seen this before. Stonespeck realizes that she and Lupinclaw have a lot of the same hardships. Stonespeck tells a story to Daisyquake, and Daisyquake suggests how to make it even better. Cloudfur includes Buttercup Dusk in a conversation that Buttercup Dusk struggled to join. Cloudfur thinks very often about Daisyquake. Shadowswell and Godzilla Star plan all their days together, which is interesting. These two seem to have a lot of back and forth with each other. It seems as though they are two cats from kind of different corners or walks of life. They have been put together despite not really being a match, and yet they choose to stay together. Maybe because of the practicality of them remaining as a couple, but they have a lot of disagreements. They also have moments that I think reinforce their need to stay together. And this is one of those times. And maybe they're planning their days together, you know, considering the war that's going on. I feel like this is not a romantic planning their days together. This is more like a practical planning their days together. Both Shadowswell and Sunchill startle at a clap of thunder. Lupinclaw knows that Blissfur would be saved for her during an emergency. I don't know, Lupinclaw. You're pregnant right now. If anything, I think you'd be saved in an emergency. Lupinclaw confesses something to Sunchill, but realizes he can't relate at all. Orchidshine quickly apologizes after bumping into Tornfern. They have a small laugh about it. Orchidshine appreciates how Daisyquake always seems to ask how she's doing. Magpie Heart sees the blood of Fresh Kill on Cloudfur's paws and feels a prickle of discomfort. Magpie Heart thinks clanmates talk more highly of Blissfur than him. Pepper prevents something from falling on Sunchill. Daisyquake meows hello to Pepper, but he looks pretty glum still. Though Godzilla Star has been unhappy with Orchidshine, Godzilla Star helps her with something. Godzilla Star, Canary Snap, and Tornfern had a nice talk while eating. Godzilla Star and Lupinclaw find out they have nice conversations when they aren't bickering. Look at that. So this is another instance, I imagine, where Godzilla Star is checking in on Lupinclaw to see if everything's going well between her and Canary Snap. And since Lupinclaw is in love with Canary Snap, and she does like Canary Snap, she's not being as irritated by this conversation as she used to be in the past when the leader used to ask about Melon, her last mate. So this is a nice conversation because she's talking about someone that she actually likes and not someone she's trying to avoid. So she doesn't feel as though she has to tiptoe around Godzilla Star regarding this, which is interesting. Also, one thing I should mention is that in the 3 moons that I played off camera, or I suppose really, I mean 2 moons, this is like the 3rd moon, right? In those moons, I did not look through the relationship tab at all. So you guys basically are on the exact same page as me. I haven't been privy to like any extra interactions or anything like that. So we've kind of missed out on the same things. I kept it blank. I like only going through relationships with you guys, so that there aren't any like, you know, important moments that I miss out on. I pretty much only read through like the major events when I'm playing by myself. Okay, Canary Snap and Daisyquake sincerely apologize to one another. Thunderwind surprises Canary Snap with something nice. Blissfur apologizes to Magpie Heart, but Magpie Heart doesn't know why. Sunchill apologizes to Orchidshine, but Orchidshine doesn't know why. Daisyquake thinks about how Lupinclaw is always reliable. Thunderwind reveals something to Godzilla Star. Apparently, Godzilla Star can relate. Orchidshine guides Tornfern to someone she's looking for. And that's pretty much all we have for the cat list. So let me cut the recording here and we'll continue in the cat list. Oh, sorry, what did I say? This is all we have for events. My goodness. No, we're going to need to continue with the cat list. It is time for us to resume with the cat list. Now guys, I have been checking up on some relationships and stuff, and we have a little bit of drama that I didn't really expect. So we need to check that out. But first of all, we need to see loyalties. Nothing has changed regarding loyalties in the 3 moons we've been away. Orchidshine, Sunchill, Tornfern, Daisyquake, and Thunderwind are still the only cats loyal to Godzilla Star. Now, in terms of the drama, so the one major change that I saw was with Orchid Shine. And I think we might have had an inkling of this in the past, but it wasn't as like fully fledged as it is now. But Orchid Shine, guys, she actually hates Sunchill, who is her cousin and was her first apprentice. This blew my mind. I have never had an instance of a mentor hating their apprentice. I have seen apprentices dislike mentors. I don't know if I've seen like hatred per se, but I have not seen this particular situation. So I'm a little bit mind blown at this, and I was thinking, why would Orchid Shine hate Sunchill, right? Whereas Tornfern, her most recent apprentice, who is also a cousin of hers, she kind of relies on. They're friends in a way. Any green that I see between cats, I consider that a friendship. So she's friends with her newest apprentice, Tornfern, but she hates her first apprentice, Sunchill. And it got me thinking, and I think what's the case is that Orchid Shine, as a strict cat, has high expectations of herself and the cats around her. And Sunchill, we know, was a very different sort of apprentice. He graduated as the lowest of his batch. He was a very childish apprentice. Orchid Shine thought she could change him, but he maintained his childishness into adulthood. And I think she just overall has been very disappointed with Sunchill, which is unfortunate, but I think it's because the way he's turned out, it's not what she wanted. And he was kind of a bad reflection of her as a mentor. Whereas Tornfern, she managed to actually make Tornfern just as strict as she is. And Tornfern graduated as the best of her batch. She got the title of the Torn Princess, and Tornfern is, she's like a matter of pride, or she's Orchid Shine's pride. So I think that's probably why Orchid Shine hates Sunchill, and yet she has a friendship with Tornfern because Sunchill was a huge disappointment as an apprentice compared to Tornfern. So that's some drama. I found that a little bit wild, but it's kind of cool to see how complex some of these feelings can get towards one another. It's just extra drama. And I find that especially interesting because Sunchill obviously has a very different relationship with Daisy Quake. He never put that much pressure on Daisy Quake to be the way his mentor wanted him to be, So that's kind of intriguing. Very, very... Orchid Shine wanted an apprentice who would shine, but Sunchill was all about chilling, and it didn't mesh. Just did not mesh. So very fascinating to me. Now, something else I wanted to check, because it has been like 3 moons off camera, I wanted to see how the upper echelons of the political ranks, politics, how they feel about one another, working with one another. So I want to dive to the mediator. We don't have anyone to mediate anymore, but I want to dive to the mediator and just see how the 3 most important cats in the clan feel about working with one another. So Godzilla Star and Plumraven, they don't feel strongly any which way. And it totally makes sense. They treat each other as just like colleagues. They work with each other as colleagues. They don't hate it. They don't love it either. They kind of just do it because it's their work. And similarly for Godzilla Star and Canary Snap. Godzilla Star has appointed Canary Snap an outsider into the role of Medicine Cat, but even across the 3 moons, they haven't, nothing's really happened between them. They haven't really interacted much at all. It's almost as though they do, literally only what they're supposed to. They do their own jobs, but they don't really cross each other, and they don't really interact. So that's kind of fascinating. And now I want to know how things are between Plumraven and Canary Snap. Okay, so again, no strong feelings. No strong feelings go on here. They just get the work done and get out of each other's way. So that's kind of different because previously, especially like if you take the outsiders out, I feel like even with Peppa, they had a much better relationship than the leaders do now, than the powerful cats do now. But it makes a lot of sense in terms of the current state of the clan because, our like the upper rankings of our clan, because the cats in power don't really get along well, or their relationship, I think, is quite flat. You can kind of see how the clan as a whole isn't exactly in agreement with one another. And so, in the bigger scheme of things, that's kind of how our relationship with other clans is playing out as well. Things are very unstable, things are very turbulent, and our leadership is a reflection of that. Very interesting. And that's kind of the major things that I want to check up on. But let's go ahead and see what everyone's doing for the day. Godzilla Star is eavesdropping on Orchid Shine. Okay. Plum Raven is picking the burrs from her pelt. Canary Snap is making new nests. Probably because he wants to make sure that whatever nest Lupine Claw decides to give birth in is going to be to her satisfaction. So he's kind of tripping over himself to make everything as perfect as possible. Buttercup Dusk saw a pair of two legs near camp today. Pepper went out to be by himself. Stone Speck tries to set a good example for younger cats. Cloudfur is wondering what living with two legs must be like. Shadow Swirl is feeling quite lazy. Magpie Heart was startled by a shrew while out on patrol. Lupine Claw is feeling underappreciated. Don't worry, Lupine Claw. Don't worry. All that appreciation, it's gonna come soon. Orchid Shine is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts, but maybe she wanted people to be more, like the cats, to be way more excitable about the fact that she is having kids. Which they are, but because this is the result of a love match, or, she got expectant when she and her mate were in love. I think it's a big deal for Lupine Claw, and she wants it to be a big deal for everyone else. But everyone was expecting it, so I think nobody's being as dramatic, Sunchill is soaking in the new leaf warmth. Blissfur is wondering if there are clans other than the ones around her area. Tornfern is basking in the sun. Daisy Quake got startled by a squirrel, and Thunderwind is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts. So that is all we have for the cat list. Let me cut the recording here and we'll catch up in patrols. Look at this, guys. How fun is it to see our little patrol panel here completely filled up with all of the clan cats? It feels a little overwhelming, but it's also kind of satisfying because, like I said, we don't have any cats that are elderly or sick or kittens that can't participate in patrol. Pretty much every cat member that we have, obviously apart from the mediator, is able to go out and do some patrols with us. But let's send off Canary Snap, our medicine cat, first. So we're gonna have, 2 patrols of 6 and a patrol of 2. We currently have 157.3 prey, we need 47, so we don't have to worry too much about food. Let's see, as the poppy starts to bloom and set seed in New Leaf, Canary Snap jumps at the opportunity. So it is New Leaf now. These plants will be dead in leaf fall while the clan won't stop needing painkillers in the colder seasons, so there's no time to waste. Canary Snap goes out and brings back a decent harvest. So poppy was gathered. And now let's see what our patrols are going to be. First up we have Orchid Shine, Daisy Quake, Pepper, Plum Raven, Tornfern, and Magpie Heart. Let's send them out. Oh nice, more hunting. There's a spring in their steps as the cats head out. Today looked like a good day for hunting. Proceed. Oh no. They find nothing, actually nothing. This isn't just bad luck, this is something spooking the local prey away from this area of the territory, and it needs to be reported back to camp straight away. Okay, so that was slightly more problematic than I thought it would be, because something is spooking the prey away. Maybe a predator in the area? Next up, we have Thunderwind, Stonespeck, Shadow Swirl, Sunchill, Lupine Claw, and Cloudfur. So this is going to be Lupine Claw's last patrol for a while, because then she's going to be den bound, and then she is going to be recovering from birthing that litter. So okay. Cloudfur suggests this might be a good chance for the cats to practice new hunting techniques. Proceed, Stonespeck takes charge and coordinates exercises for the training patrol. Soon cats are practicing their stalking on each other, sharing tips about different terrain types, and discussing prey varieties. Okay, so that was a more relaxed but informative sort of patrol. And finally we have Blissfur and Godzilla Star. This might be a good chance for Godzilla Star to bond with Blissfur a little bit more, and maybe get her to be loyal to him again. Let's see. Godzilla Star suggests this might be a good chance to practice new hunting techniques with Blissfur. Proceed, the cats practice their hunting dutifully, but no one has anything new to show each other, so I don't think that went as well as maybe Godzilla Star would have hoped. Blissfur is quite firm, I think, at this point in her own thoughts, which were passed on to her by her mentor, Dayprance, her first mentor, Dayprance. So it's kind of hard to shake her at this point. But okay, that is all we have for this particular episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the little bit of drama and the happy news that we got, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.